Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Team Limitless Foece call for the week of May 25th of 2016. So first off, I want to give a huge shout out because it's been a few weeks since we've had a team call. I just want to give a huge shout out to April for being a Success Club. I think she was Success Club 8 last month. So 7, well 8. I think it said 8, but anyway, it doesn't matter. 7, 8, whatever. You helped 4 people. Awesome job. So it's not about points; it's about people. So shout out to you. And I also want to give a shout out to April for doing her Fit Club and inspiring other women, even inspiring me to go work out and have fellowship. And just to kind of fill you in, you guys, before I had issues with working out. I don't now. I can work out, but I have issues making friends. So, huge shout out to April, for doing that. So, I know a lot of you are wondering about I feel like I can be real with y'all. About Jed's appointment. Anyways, we saw his ENT doctor. Everything looks good. His tubes are working, so that's good. They're kind of falling out a little bit. But if they do fall out, of course, they'll put them back in. And whenever they do that, they're going to go ahead and remove his adenoids. And that'll kind of help with all because he has so much upper respiratory crud. Like that's what he threw up on me. And then we saw genetics. And his initial genetic screening came back normal, which is awesome. Just like his MRI came back normal, which is awesome. But he still has these delays. And, a lot of times we want to know why. And I want to know why, but realistically, that's not, I don't just want a diagnosis for him because that's not what he is. He's not labeled with a diagnosis to me. And they still had blood left from before. So they're going to send that off. And they're somehow or another, because, these people are like geniuses, they are going to take his DNA and work it down to his symptoms and his developmental delays and look at those genes and see if he has a mutation somewhere. But I haven't shared this with anybody. I've been kind of quiet this afternoon because I don't really know how to say it because I don't have a prognosis for it. But the geneticist that we talked to today, my husband asked her, in your 10 years of doing this, when you see children like Jet, what's the percentage of him being able to function like an adult, like me and my wife? And she said very small. But I knew that. I knew that. But you just always want more for your kids. But anyway, so next step is they're going to take that DNA that they have left, because they didn't want to have to stick him again if they didn't have to. So yay for that. They're going to take that and they're going to send that off to see if he has a mutation or, you know, something, and like get more specific. So like that's awesome. So like that way we can, you know, and the doctor even said, you know, I know that it's not about a diagnosis, but like if I can have a diagnosis, I can connect with other people that have children or that are the same way that he is. And that really alerted my brain, because it's like, that's what we do. That's what we do. We are people that connect with other people that are miserable, hate themselves, depressed, have eating disorders, you know, have medical, you know, issues, and we help each other. Yes, April. And I agree, 110%. And I have it on a card that I wrote, and I hand wrote it out. My Bible's in the other room, but I have it written out, and I have it bookmarked to the sun stands still prayer. You're going to make me cry, because I do believe that if the Lord can make the sun stand still and the waters part and mountains fall and heal people from the dead, that he can heal it. And I haven't given up. I mean, I'm not giving up. And I give all the praise to him. And you know, that's what I was working on prior to this call, was posting, because people have been messaging me all day, like, how's Jet? How's Jet? How's Jet? And I don't have an answer. And sometimes God doesn't have an answer. There is no answer, but you just have to keep faith that what he's doing is going to work out, no matter if he ends up being, you know, an NFL football player or is with me for the rest of his life. Or my life, I mean, whichever, there's a reason, and he knows. I just don't. But I do have faith. And the funny thing is that when we were in the doctor's office, when my husband asked that question, you know, in your years of, you know, in your 10 years of doing this, you know, what are the chances of him being a functional adult? She looked at me kind of like the breath was drawn out of her, but like you wouldn't notice, like if you were just looking at her. And I looked at her and I said, I know, because God told me he's special. He's special, and he's going to be special, and there's nothing wrong with him. There's nothing wrong with him, and he's a gift. And my job as his mother is just to make sure that he's well, and that he's cared for, and that he's happy, and to let him know that he's a child of God. And then she said what she said, but I knew, just as a mother, you just know. And sorry, my nose is running. All I have is a towel. But this call's not about Jet. So the first thing I want to focus on, and I titled the call, I've got to make it super short because I'm cooking supper. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Okay. And I just realized this in the last couple of days from talking to Miranda and seeing her posts. And I listened to, at Summit this year, Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm blurring on my screen. I was trying to see something. Gary Vaynerchuk. It's Vaynerchuk. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. He wrote this book. You need to read it because it's not on audiobook, and he did it for a reason. He does have 2 other audiobooks out. I've listened to both of them. And since he's going to be our speaker at Summit, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you listen to these, because even though our job is about inspiration and inspiring other people and doing personal development to work on ourselves, we also have to work on our business. And he talks about the stuff that we don't want to recognize, not in ourselves, but about actually doing the work and typing it out. And he talks about those things. If you want to write this down, this is in Amazon, and this is I highly recommend on these 2 books getting the audio version, because when he wrote them and when he did the audio, they're 2 different times, and social media changes every day. So the audio version of these are more up to date than the written version. So if you go to Amazon and you search Gary Vaynerchuk, it's Vaynerchuk. The most recent book he wrote was called Ask Gary V, and that's VEE. And at the beginning of the book, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this does not pertain to me. I'm not a portrait person. I'm not a photographer, but listen to what he says and listen to what his message is. The second book, actually listen to him in reverse order. Ask Gary V should be second. It's an 11-hour book, okay? It's long. The first one that you need to get is called Crush It. And a lot of the information is out to date. Instagram was not even around in 2009 when this book was written. So a lot of the websites that he mentions in here, I don't even know. I just block them out, and I just listen to Facebook, and that's it. But Crush It is like this. And then Ask Gary V. You can get them both on Amazon, and I recommend getting the audio versions of these because social media has changed that much. But he does say in his Ask Gary V book that he did not do an audio version of this. He said because it needed to be written out, and it wasn't going to change no matter what social media platform you're on. This is what it is. And he knows what he's talking about, you guys, because I mean, he went from working as a 16-year-old at his father's discount liquor store where he couldn't even drink anything to being a wine connoisseur at 22 and running a $10 million business back in 1999, I think, like right when the internet came out. So super smart guy. It's not inspirational, it's business, but it's awesome. So and I'm going to dive into what he said a little bit more. He talks a lot about the number 2 things in life. Number 1 is family, always family. Number 2, it's not about you. It's not about you. Stop focusing on what you need and focus on what you have to give others. And I'm so guilty of this myself. We're like, I need $500 to pay this, or, I need, I need so much right now. Like, I need to be able to get up in the morning and do my workout, or I need someone to go to the store for me and, get coffee. I need, someone to make my lunch for me, or gosh, if I had a clone of me, I could do this. And it's not about that, but focus on the assets that you have and use those to do more. Hey, what? Huh? I don't know. I'm live. Okay, I'm doing it. Sorry. Just chilling. And he talks a lot about, like, I know that, you're both, everybody on this call is a Beachbody coach, but like, if you could do one thing in your life that made you like super happy, like you got up every morning and were stoked about it, what would that be? And what would that thing be if you were so stoked about it that you came home and worked until 3 o'clock in the morning on building your brand on the internet? And it doesn't have to revolve around Shakeology or Beachbody. But what I will say is that anything that you do, whether it's gardening to cooking to ministry or whatever, it all comes back to fitness. So you have your product. It's building your brand on social media. And that's what I want to talk about. So it's not about you. And I know that I'm being controversial when I say it's not about you, but it's not about you. It's about building a brand on social media so that when people get to that point, so they're like, I can't live like this anymore, they think April, or they think Dawn, or they think Brittany. Like people, when they buy Brussels sprouts, they send me personal messages and they're like, look what I got, when, people send me videos of cartwheels like all the time. I get messages all the time saying, thank you so much for your inspiration daily. Like, I never knew that there was people in the world out there like you. And these people have been following me for years. This is not something that happened in 2 weeks. Okay. But build your brand. What's your brand? Who are you? And, you don't have to be about food or cartwheels, anything like that. And Miranda said this to me because I'm like, but you have like all this stuff and you like know all this stuff. I'm like, I don't have anything. And she's like, just be you. And that's what Gary says. He's like, and he cusses, just FYI. And he apologizes for it, but he's like, I'm just being me. He's like, I can't help it. Like, that is who I am. And he doesn't cover it up. And so that's what we need to do, is just be ourselves. So what I want to say to all the coaches on the team is these are the things that you need to be doing to grow your business. Number one is you have to be doing they've switched it to 4 vital behaviors. You have to be a product of the product. You have to be doing, which means you have to be doing a program from start to finish and share about it. You have to be drinking your Shakeology every single day, no matter if you have to get a sample from somebody or whatever, you've got to do it and share about it. If you need help sharing about it, get with your coach. They'll help you craft a post for that. You have to be inviting every single day. And I know that is like the biggest downfall that we all have. And you're like, well, how do I invite? How do I know who to invite? You go look at the picture in the team page of the Power Hour and print it off. And this is an old one. I made a new one since then, but print it off and you follow it every single day. And if you want your business to grow faster, Gary Vaynerchuk says you do it 5, 6, 7 times a day. You stay up till 3 in the morning and you get up at 6. Yes, I know that we're all like, oh my God, like I can't do that. But like, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? So you've got to be inviting every single day. I've got scripts in my Google Docs that you guys can look at, copy paste. There's the Hey Girl, the Hey Girl scripts that are in a pic form in the team page that you can go and look at. And go to your online office and print out the 5-step Tommy migrant process. Don't use it word for word. You're going to have to, is what I did is, you read what he says and then kind of tweak it to where it's you talking. Okay. So number 3 is personal development. You have to. And Melissa McAllister told us on a team call not too long ago that the biggest thing that you can ever do in this business is to work on yourself. Work on yourself, but don't make it about you. And this didn't really hit me until this week. Whenever last night we were at Fit Club, I didn't say a whole lot other than I told April that I can't. And I was making a joke saying, because I was trying to make a joke saying that whenever we message people and they're like, well, I can't do that. Well, I can't do that, But I didn't say a whole lot until people started asking me about makeup, then I just kind of go off on that. And I did post a picture today, but I just kind of listened a lot. And what I've learned from listening the last couple of weeks is that you will learn more from listening than speaking. So when people are messaging you and you're talking to them, they already know your story. They've been following you. They know that I've lost 60 pounds twice. They know that I have a baby. They know that you've done, the 21-day fix and, lost 150 pounds or whatever. They don't want to rehear that. They want you to listen to them and tell them how they can fix it, not how you fixed your issues. And that was key to me. And it shot back a memory. Last summit, I got luck, and this is luck, even though I don't believe in luck. Right after, it was Saturday night after the closing ceremonies, we went to a restaurant in downtown Nashville, and we were sitting at a table, me and Josh, and I looked over and I said, oh my gosh, there's Lindsay Matway. If you don't know who Lindsay Matway is, she is like the most awesomest beach body coach ever. She was the 2013 top earner or top beach body coach. And I saw her and I was like, I told Josh, I was like, because at this point in my life, I was like, when there was something that scared me, I had to do it. And I wanted to talk to her. And I told him, I was like, I have to go over there. But I'm like, I'm not as skinny as her, and I'm not as pretty as her. I don't look, I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna go do it. And anyway, I waited until she went over to the bar area because I didn't want to go intervene into a conversation. And I said, Lindsay, and she turned around and she was so nice, you guys. She's like, yeah. And I told her, I said, I just wanted to tell you. And I started crying because legitimately, if you guys haven't seen this video, you need to watch it. I told her, I said, Lindsay, I said, your YouTube video that somebody filmed of you speaking in January of 2014 about being the top beach body coach of the year has changed my life. And she smiled. She didn't say anything. She didn't go into all of her achievements and all of her accomplishments and how much weight she lost and how her baby had the brain bleed and how her brother died and, how she overcame all this stuff. She smiled at me. And I went on to say, I said, because of you, I didn't quit, because I almost did. And I said, because of you, I've helped, I think at that point in time, it was like 17 women. And she hugged me. And she said, that's what this is about. She goes, it's about helping others. It's not about any of this. And so I know that a lot of times we see these really successful people and we're just like, God, I'm just, and we compare and we're like, I'm not like her. Well, you don't need to be, but just listen. Just listen. And her husband was nice. She took pictures with me. If you guys go into the pictures of the team page, I've got pictures with her. But I'm totally off topic right now. But you've got to be doing personal development every single day. And you've got to be doing recognition. Whether or not you have a team page or not, you have got to recognize people all the time. Okay? I've got to go fast because I got like 7 minutes. I've already said be you, be real. I know it's hard. And it's hard for me. I mean, my profile picture used to be Texas, okay? I used to wear makeup all the time, you know. Just be real, be you, be vulnerable. And it's hard, and that takes a lot of personal development to get to that level. But Beachbody, I mean, we all have access to the most amazing products. We all have Shakeology, the Performance Stack, all of the awesome workouts. We've got Beachbody On Demand. We all have all of these amazing things. So what makes you different from, you know, somebody else? Nothing. And I'm just now realizing this, you know, but I'm telling you, you are no different than Melissa McAllister. You are no different than Lindsay Weiss. You are no different than Melanie Mitro. You have nothing different. They started everything for free. And Melanie Mitro even started her business without her husband even knowing, because she was scared. So you're no different. You just have to establish a brand. You have to connect with people so that they legitimately feel comfortable with you. And when I say establish a brand, what do they think of when they see your name? Think about that. What do they think of when they see your name? And when they're ready for a change, what's going to pop in their mind first? I'm just going to give you a real easy example. When you have fever, what pops in your mind first? Tylenol. Okay, the last 3 things I'm going to go over are hard. They're hard to comprehend, but they're easy to do. So, this business is all about patience. God did not bless me with patience. I pray for patience every single day. I'm the most impatient person that you could probably know. Like that. So if you're expecting millions to come in 6 weeks or a year, 2 years, 3 years, it's not going to happen. I mean, you know, Miranda's been in this business for 5 years, you know. Now, I will say that with consistency and persistence, you can grow faster, but it's patience and being consistent. You have to be consistent. You cannot, if you're building a business online, which that's what we're doing, you cannot take days off. There are no days off. And whether you use Hootsuite or another medium to get your content uploaded on social media, you have to do it. There are no days off, because I didn't know this, but I've got people messaging me now that say, you know, are you okay? Because you didn't post at 11 o'clock, and you normally post at 11 o'clock, like something like really inspirational, or like you didn't post at 7 o'clock this morning, are you? And I didn't know that, you know, and I've been doing this for almost 3 years. So, I mean, it took that long, but they're not customers, but they're worried about me, which I appreciate. But they're looking for that inspiration. They're looking for that post, for that thing. So they're following you. And one of the things that Gary Vaynerchuk said that I never realized is that when your page is public, you know, you may post a video on there or a picture on there, and it may say, you know, 600 views or it may say 5 views. So a lot of times people that have 600 views, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to keep doing that because I got 600 views. But you don't know who those people were. And then they're like, well, I posted a video about this, but it got 5 views. But what if one of those people that watched your video was Carl Deichler or a producer for HBO? You don't know because Facebook doesn't tell you that. YouTube doesn't tell you that. Instagram doesn't tell you that. They don't tell you that. So and I'm not throwing those names out there to like scare you. It's what I'm saying is that you might be talking to a woman that is so depressed and fixing to end her life, and you're thinking that you only got 5 views, but you saved a life. It's about the one that you helped. And then the last thing is do it again. You get up and you do it again. You post and you invite and you're patient and you're consistent. And then you do it again and you post and you invite and you're patient and consistent. And then you post and invite and you're patient and consistent. And if you want this to happen, it will. I truly believe that because I watched Miranda go from nothing. I mean, not nothing as a person, but literally bankruptcy to where she is now. And she's my cousin, so it's close to home. So I know that it's possible, and I want to lift you guys up and know that you guys, you have it within you. And our team, our culture, it's and Gary Vaynerchuk even said that. He said, you know, when what year was it? I think it was like 2006. It was 2006. And the very first business that he ever launched was called Wine Library. I know that's weird. But this lady had ordered a case of wine, an older lady, a case of wine, and it was supposed to be there by Christmas, and there was a snowstorm, and it wasn't going to get there, and so he lived in New Jersey, and she lived in New York, and he put the wine in his car and drove it to her. Now, he didn't have to. He didn't get paid any extra for it from his dad, because his dad owned the liquor store. But he drove it there because of the customer service that it represented and because he actually cared about the customer. She was not a dollar symbol to him, or in our terms, a Success Club point. It's about them, and it's always about them. And I know that it's hard to wrap our heads around because look, when we're pushing for Success Club and your coach is messaging you being like, how come you haven't hit Success Club yet? What can I do for you? Just know that it's about them and about listening. And what Miranda told me, because I'm struggling with, is that you have to actually listen to their needs. And instead of responding to them about what you've done, address their needs as in what they can do to help them. And that's helped me. So I just wanted to, kind of pass those things along. And, before Summit, listen to him because he will be a speaker and there's no telling what he's liable to say on the stage. I'm super excited to listen to him talk. But I have like 50 seconds and they're going to kick me off. So thank you to Dawn and April who were on the call, and I will upload this to our team page, even though I cried at the beginning. And I just want to send out a special thank you to everybody that continues their prayers for Jet and just continues to sweat for him, or drink your shake for him. Shake for Jet. It doesn't matter. But April, Teresa won the cookbook. So I need to get it to you to get to her. But anyways, you guys have a good evening, and I will talk to you guys later. Good night.